Hey there, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to the Nashville Lift Zone. I'm your host, Rockwell. We're getting on the way to work here. It's a Wednesday afternoon. I actually took Tuesday last night off. Enjoyed some time, visited my mother. Now we're all nice and refreshed, ready to start the weekend grind. But anyway, in this video, in case you're wondering, I'm sitting here getting the car washed, about to get on the interstate. So I figured this would be a good time to make a video since I'm not moving. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about, a lot of people want to know what kind of car should you do Lyft or Uber in. And there's two answers to that question. And before you can answer that question, you really got to ask yourself, am I going to do this part-time or full-time? So if you're going to do this part-time, really the answer is any kind of car is going to be a good one to drive in. Obviously the requirement is you got to have 4 seats, a 4-door car. And as long as it gets pretty decent gas mileage, and you live in the city that you're going to be driving in, that's not really, it really doesn't matter. Right now the requirements for Lyft, and I think both with Uber, is you got to have a 2004 or newer car. So the car, if you're doing part-time, the car really is not going to make that big of a difference. At least I don't think so. If you're getting 30 miles a gallon or better in the city, and like I said, if you live in the city that you're working in, you're not going to really have any kind of issues there. Now if you're going to do this full-time, you really got to kind of rethink the strategy there, because not every car is going to do. Big SUVs now, granted, you get a bigger rate. They have Lyft and Lyft Plus, which is a 4-seater or a 6-seater, so big SUV or minivan. Uber does the same thing. I think they call it Uber XL. The one thing, if you're going to do this full time, the number one thing you need to consider is gas mileage. You want to get as much gas mileage as you can, because gasoline is going to be the biggest expense that you have. Hybrids are great. The Toyota Prius, Honda Accord, Honda Civic hybrids. Almost every manufacturer has some form of hybrid. Those get excellent gas mileage, and especially in the city. City driving, which most of this really is. When you brake, you're charging the battery. Sorry, it's getting a little loud with the high pressure washer here. But anyway, what I actually went with was a Honda Fit. It's a subcompact car, and most subcompact cars are going to be the absolute perfect cars to do this in. The Honda Fit, actually, it's a small car, but there's lots and lots of space here in it. I'm 6'4", weigh 300 pounds, and I'm very comfortable in this car in the driver's seat. I've sat in, not while someone else was driving, but I've sat in the passenger seat, while I'm parked in front of my house. I got plenty of leg room. I've even, in the back seats here, I've sat there on both sides. The driver's seat sits a little farther back than the front seat or the passenger seat does. But I don't have any problem, sitting right behind my driver's seat. And really, doing this for Lyft, I've only had, one person that was sitting in the back seat, which was, like, hey, can we move the front seat forward a little bit? Which, no problem. I just pulled the bar and he pushed the seat forward. It was fine. He had really long legs. He was a little bit taller than me, which there's not many people that are taller than me. Another reason I went with the Honda Fit was the back seats here. They fold completely down. So there's not a lot of space there between the the back seat headrests and the rear window there. I can fold those back seats down, and now everything behind the 2 front seats is cargo space. So that's really handy. when you're transporting you know, people to the airport, you know that have a lot of luggage. You know, one time I had to get pretty creative because I had 2 passengers. They had a ton of luggage, so one of them sat up here in the front seat and the other one sat right behind them, and we folded down the seat behind me so we could fit all their luggage in, but it was piled up pretty high. You know, also the back seats, they don't just fold down, the seats actually fold up, which is also handy in certain situations. You know, say someone's got a, you know, at Home Depot and bought a plant, or a, you know, a statue or something like that, you know, something that you don't want to lay down. You know, I can fold those back seats up, and now if I do that, then I've got enough, you know, space back here between the 2 seats to fit a 40-inch flat screen TV in the box. So, you know, there's a lot of versatility with the Honda Fit. You know, and plus it's a small car, so, you know, parts are cheaper, repairs are going to be cheaper, you know, than a bigger car or luxury cars. And plus this thing gets absolutely excellent gas mileage. You know, it's not a hybrid, it's just straight gas. And in the city I average about 34-35 miles per gallon. On the highway I'm pushing 40 miles a gallon. You know, 38, 39, 40, somewhere in there. So this thing's, you know, an absolutely great, you know, car. I've never had anyone complain about it being too small. In fact, most people, you know, complain, or not complain, but, you know, mention when they get in, it's like, wow, this car is a lot bigger on the inside than it looks like on the outside. And it's, you know, like I said, it's very comfortable. You know, I got plenty of cup holders. There's under the dashboard here, you know, where the you know, the stereo and air conditioner controls are. I've got an AC power outlet, an aux port, and a USB slot. So, you know, I've got, you know, an aux cable if they want to listen to their music. You know, I've got a charger cord for my phone here. I've got another charger cord for a iPhone plugged into the USB port. And then in the armrest right here, there's another AC power outlet. And I've got another AC, a dual AC plug. So it's regularly sorry, the dryer's going, it's getting a little loud. But yeah, I've got a dual charger, which by itself is just a micro USB charger for an Android phone. But because it's a dual charger, above the, you know, where the cord comes out, it has a power outlet, or not a power outlet, but a USB port. So I've got another iPhone cord plugged into that USB slot, and now I've got, you know, 2 more chargers here for the back. So that's really, really handy, you know, to have all these, you know, power functions here in the inside the car. You know, and there is a power charger that I can get, which is like a it has like 5 or 6 different power cords on it, so it can, you know, it's got like iPhone 4, 5, 6, which 5 and 6 are pretty much the same charging cord. But, you know, it gives that, and it costs a little bit more than you're going to pay for a single one. But, you know, right now, since I've already got those 2, you know, plenty of basically already, I'm not really worried about that right now. And I've never had anyone, you know, the iPhone 4s especially, you know, they're not that frequent anymore. Most people have either a 5 or a 6, you know, iPhone. So, but anyway, that's getting a little off topic. You know, another, you know, nice thing, which most newer cars already have, but it's got a gas range on the dashboard here. So, you know, when I've got a full tank, it's, you know, 350, 376 miles until I run out of gas. But, you know, as you know, drive, it's going to go down. And so that's real handy to know, like, you know, hey, when I've only got 30, you know, miles worth of gas left, it's probably about time to pull into a gas station. But, you know, that's, you know, another reason I went with a Honda Fit is, you know, I just got an unbelievable deal on this. This isn't actually the car that I tried to buy initially. But it was the car I tried to buy was part of the whole airbag recall. And since I'd already signed the paperwork on it and they couldn't give me the car because Honda wasn't going to ship the airbags for that one out until like August. And I was like, man, I can't sit around twiddle my thumbs until August. That ain't going to work. So they basically gave me this one, which is a 2016 Honda Fit. You know, so it's brand new. Only had like 500 miles on it when I drove it home. And it was, you know, the price they gave me was barely more than, you know, what I was going to pay for the 2013 model. So that was a no-brainer, you know. And, you know, now instead of getting the, you know, the 13 with 76,000 miles on it and no warranty, you know, I got a brand new car for, you know, just a tiny little bit more money than, you know, I was going to pay for the other one. And it's got a full, you know, full warranty on it for 36,000 miles. You know, so that's, you know, kind of lucked into that. But you know, I probably, you know, even if I hadn't that deal, you know, like I said initially, I was trying to buy a Honda Fit, just an older one. You know, after I'd done the research and everything on the internet and that kind of stuff about what kind of car that you should get. But yeah, that's what I got. You know, so far this car is working out really well for me. But it, you know, in the end, it really comes down to, you know, what's your choice. You know, what's your preference. But if you're going to do this full time, you definitely need to be considering, you know, like I said, gas mileage is king. So the better the gas mileage is, you know, the better you're going to do, because, you know, low gas mileage means you're going to spend a lot more money on gas, and that cuts into your profits. You know, so I don't know why anyone would do this full time with, you know, some car that gets, you know, 20 miles to the gallon. I mean, you're not going to make any money that way, because you're going to be giving it all to the, you know, to Exxon or Shell, or something like that. But anyway, you know, that's my opinion. Take it or leave it. It is what it is. I hope it's helped you a little bit. You know, sharing my experience and how well, you know, this car has worked out for me. You know, you could do a lot worse than a Honda Fit. You can do a little bit better. You know, Priuses are like 55 miles to the gallon. So, but anyway, we're getting on the interstate here to head to Nashville, and maybe tomorrow morning we'll have another stories video for you. But in the meantime, y'all have a great day. I'm going to put my promo code here in the description. So if you're thinking about signing up for LYFT, you know, be sure to use my promo code down here, because right now in Nashville, the bonus is if you sign up to drive and you use that promo code, you're going to get $250. And I'm going to get $250 after you complete 50 rides in 30 days. And that's just free money. You know, other cities, it's a different bonus. You know, it might be 500, you know, 750, you know, even $1,000. You know, and you don't really have to, you know, do that much. I mean, 50 rides for me, you know, I do this, you know, pretty much 12 hours a day, 4 or 5 days a week. You know, 50 rides, that's 2 days. You know, for me. So it really doesn't take that long, especially they give you 30 days to, you know, to complete that ride. So even if you're doing this, you just want to do this part-time, you know, drive until you get the bonus. You know, especially if you're on the fence about whether to drive for Lyft or Uber, you know, sign up, use the promo code, drive until you get the bonus, and then decide, you know, by that time you're gonna know whether or not this is for you or not. And, you know, pretty much, I'm making good money here in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm doing this full time. I'm making more than I was in the swimming pool business. So I mean, there is money to be made in this ride sharing business for sure. But anyway, we're getting pretty long here. This is coming up on 14 minutes here. I didn't intend for this video to be that long. But y'all have a great day. I'll see you out here in the LYFT zone here in Nashville. And have a wonderful day or evening.